Hello students, today we are going to study a very interesting chapter, A Gift of Chappals. This is the second chapter of class 7 book, Honeycomb. Mridu is a young girl growing up in Madras, which is now called Chennai. She is living with Tapi, who is her grandmother, and Tata. Tata means grandfather. One afternoon, Tapi takes her to her aunt Rukmani's house to meet her cousins Lalli, Ravi and Meena. So, in this chapter, Mridu is a small girl who is going to her aunt's home, Rukmani, and she will meet her cousins there. What are the cousins' name? Lalli, Ravi and Meena. So why the name of the chapter is Gift of Chappals? That's an interesting mystery which we will come to know at the end of the story. So let us study. This is a very interesting one. A Gift of Chappals. A smiling Rukmani threw open the door. Ravi and Meera rushed out and Ravi pulled Mridu into the house. "Wait, let me take off my slippers," protested Mridu. She set them out neatly near a pair of large black ones. Those were grey, actually with dust. You could see the clear mark of every toe on the front part of each slipper. The marks for the two big toes were long and scrawny. So Mridu went to her aunt's home, and as soon as she went, her cousins Ravi and Meena, they dragged her into the home to show her something. But Mridu wanted to take her slippers off, so she removed her slippers and she neatly kept near black slippers. So there was a large pair of black slippers. We don't know whose it is yet. It was actually covered with dust, so it was looking like grey. And on that slippers, there was a mark of long toes, long and thin toes, scrawny thin. Mridu didn't have much time to wonder about whose slippers they were, because Ravi dragged her to the backyard behind a thick bitterberry bush. There, inside a torn football lined with sackling and filled with sand, lay a very small kitten lapping up milk from a coconut half shell. So Mridu didn't think much about the slippers, and then Ravi and Meena took her to the backyard behind a thick bitterberry bush. Bitterberry bush is an alliteration here, where the letter B is repeated. There in the bitterberry bush, in a torn football, there was a small kitten and who was lapping up milk. Lapping up means drinking milk from a half coconut shell. Then Ravi said that we found him outside the gate this morning. He was mewing and mewing, poor thing. You can see in the picture that Ravi is there, Meena and Mridu is there, and there's a kitten who is drinking milk and sleeping in a torn football. Meena said that thing. "It's a secret. Amma says Pati will leave for our Paddu Mama's house if she knows we have a cat." So they are sharing this as a secret, that nobody knows that there is a cat in the house, because if Pati means grandmother, Ravi's grandmother, knows that there is a cat, she will leave that house and go to Paddu Mama's house. People are always telling us to be kind to animals, but when we are, they scream, "Oh, don't bring that dirty creature here." So this is a hypocrisy of the society. Ravi is telling that everyone tells us to be kind towards animal, but when we are kind and when we bring this kind of animals, they say, "Oh, why have you brought this dirty creature? Go and keep it away." Do you know how hard it is just to get a little milk from the kitchen? Pati saw me with a glass in my hand just now. I told her I'm very hungry. I want to drink it, but the way she looked at me, I had to drink most of it to throw her off the scent. Then she wanted the tumbler back. Pati, I'll wash it myself. Why should I put you to trouble?" I told her. So what happened that Ravi is telling that it is very difficult to bring milk from the kitchen for the kitten, because while bringing the milk from the kitchen, Pati, grandmother, had seen Ravi bringing the milk. So Ravi had to do some acting just to remove her doubts from having a kitten in the home. So Ravi told that I'm hungry, I want to drink milk. So after drinking, he had to drink some of the milk, and then Pati wanted the tumbler, that utensil where the milk was kept. But he said, no, don't worry, I'll wash the tumbler and keep it in the kitchen. I had to run and pour milk into this coconut shell and then run back and wash the tumbler and put it back before she got really suspicious. Now we have to think of some other way to feed Mahendran. So now Ravi is wondering that we have to find some other methods how to feed Mahendran. Mahendran was the name of the cat. Mahendran, this little kitty's name is really Mahendran? Mridu was impressed. It was a real name, not just a cute kitty cat name. So it was a real name, not just a normal kind of name. Actually, his full name is Mahendra Verma Pallab Punai. MP Punai for short if you like. He's a fine breed of cat. Just look at his fur, like a lion's mane. And you know what the emblem of ancient Pallav kings was, don't you? He looked expectantly at Mridu. So Ravi now he started to brag. He started to show off how much he knows about history of cats and other thing. Now he's showing off about his cat. He's saying that his actual name is Mahendra Verma Pallab Punai and short name is MP Punai. And he's a very good quality cat. And his fur is like a lion's mane. And you know, in the ancient days, the Pallav kings, the ancient was a cat. Mridu giggled. Think I'm joking? Well, just wait. I'll show you something sometime. It's clear you don't know a thing about history. Haven't been to Mahabalipuram, have you? He said mysteriously. So Ravi thought that now Mridu is thinking that I'm joking. So now he started to explain and clarify. Well, when our class went to Mahabalipuram, I saw a statue of his tatas, etc., etc. Now he's telling that I had been by a school trip to Mahabalipuram. There he saw the statue of his tata, means he saw the statue of this cat's grandfather, means in the ancient Pallav kings they were having cats as the emblem. So he was telling that that cat was grandfathers of this cat, a close relative, scientifically speaking, of none other than lion. And he's also boasting, he's also showing off that my cat is a very close relative of lion. The Pallav lion, emblem of Pallav dynasty. Ravi went on walking around the bitterberry bush, waving a twig up and down, his eyes are sparkling. This cat is descendant of none other than the Mahabalipuram Rishi cat. And if I may just remind you, they worshipped cats in ancient Egypt. Now he's telling some more things that in ancient Egypt they used to worship cats. And this cat is the descendant. It is a direct generation of Mahabalipuram Rishi cat. How he loved the sound of his own voice. Mina and Mridu exchanged look. What does that have to do with anything? Mridu demanded. I'm telling you, this cat is descended from the Egyptian cat god. No goddess, no bastard. Yeah, that's it. He's telling you, I'm telling you, try to believe me that it is a direct descendant. Well, one of the descendants of the cat goddess was a stowaway in one of the Pallav ships, and his descendant was Mahabalipuram Rishi cat. He is telling that one of the generation of this cat which he was having has hidden itself in one of the Pallav ships and came to Mahabalipuram Rishi cat. And now from their descendant only this Mahendra Varman Pallab Punai has come. And that time only he sneezed. He shrieked, very pleased with himself. Mahendran looked up alarmed. He had just been sharpening his claws on the edge of the coconut shell, but worse than Ravi's awful whooping was a screech from the window. So more worse than the sound, there was a screeching sound coming from the window, and that time the cat was sharpening its claws on the coconut shell. MP Punai was so frightened out of his wits, hair standing on one end. He bounced up and scurried towards a bamboo tray of red chilies that had been set out to dry. So some bamboo in a bamboo tree, red chilies were kept out for drying, and he was so much frightened, the cat, that it went in under the bamboo tray where the chilies were kept, and some chilies fell on himself, and he then shouted, meow. He howled miserably. The screeching went on and on. What's that noise? Mridu asked. That's Lally learning to play the violin, grunted Ravi. So that screeching sound was coming from window where Lally was learning how to play violin by a music master. Then Ravi started to say that she will never learn a thing. The music master just goes on playing like a train, whizzing on and on, while Lally all the time derailing, going completely off track. So What kind of comparison is Ravi making? Ravi is making a comparison that when the music master plays music, it feels that a train is running smoothly over the tracks. But when Lalli starts playing, as if that the train is going off the track, the train is coming over the track, getting removed from the track. He was just making a comparison that how bad Lalli plays violin. Mridu crept up to the window. Lalli was sitting a little distance away, awkwardly holding her violin and bowstring, her elbows jutting out and her eyes glazed with concentration. In front of her, with most of his back to the window, was the bony figure of the music master. He has mostly bald head, with a fringe of oiled black hair falling around his ears and an old-fashioned tuft. A gold chain gleamed around his leathery neck, and a diamond ring glittered on his hand as it glided up and down the stem of the violin. A large foot stuck out from beneath his gold-bordered vest edge, and he was beating time on the floor with a scrawny big toe. So, these three kids, Ravi, Meena, and Mridu, they went near the window to see how Lalli was playing. So she saw that Lalli was sitting with very awkwardly with the violin and the bowstring in her hand, and then she was sitting with concentration to learn from the music from the master. In front of that, the music master was sitting, and what kind of music master he was? He was having bony figure, means he was a very thin person, and he was having mostly bald head. Some hairs were there around his ears, which was black, and it was put a lot of oil was there, and he was having an old-fashioned tuft. He was making a small pony. A gold chain was shining around his leathery neck, and he was wearing a diamond ring, and he was also wearing a veshti, gold bordered veshti. Veshti means dhoti, which is in Tamil. In Tamil language, veshti means dhoti. He was beating time on the floor with a scrawny big toe. So again, students, you can see the word scrawny is used here. Scrawny big toe means long and thin toes. So I can guess that this the chappals which was seen by Mridu at the starting was the chappals of this master. He played a few notes. Lalli stumbled behind on him on her violin, which looked quite helpless. So you can see in the picture the music master, he was a bony figure and wearing a veshti, a gold border veshti, a diamond ring and leathery neck, some old fashioned tuft he is having in his hair and Lalli is trying to learn to play the music. Unhappy in her hands. So Lalli was very much unhappy and helpless. What a difference! The music master's notes seemed to float up and settle perfectly into the invisible tracks of the melody. It was like the wheels of a train fitting smoothly into the rails, whizzing along, as Ravi said. Mridu stared at that huge, deranged hand moving effortlessly up the violin stem, making lovely music. So Ravi is again comparing that how beautiful the music master plays, whereas Lalli plays it very badly. Whenever Lalli tries to play as if that the train is coming off the track. Squawk! There was Lalli derailing again. So up to here let us study, and we will continue in the next video. I hope you have understood very well, and if you have any kinds of doubt, do comment in the comment section and you may ask me. I'll reply you the answers there, okay? And you may also ask me during the online Zoom classes where I can answer you, okay? Have a great day ahead. Goodbye.